It's been more than a month since the U.S. Supreme Court narrowed its interpretation on the federal bribery statute, but that hasn't significantly changed any of the corporate corruption cases related to former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan, at least not yet. His October trial date is unchanged, though the judge overseeing the case weighs arguments that prosecutors should drop some of the charges in light of the high court's decision. Meanwhile, a former AT&T Illinois exec accused of bribing Madigan in exchange for favorable legislation is making similar arguments ahead of his trial next month. Those who have already been convicted for bribing Madigan are also asking for a new trial.